All right, Roderick Hodges. I'm going to be doing my persuasive action speech. My wife here is a recorder, and we have Marianne, we have Matt, and we have Man, and we have Miss Mona, and we have Makayo in the background who you might hear. Okay, cigarette smoking is the #1 cause of preventable disease worldwide. Smoking related to diseases claim over 3,900, no, 393,000 of American lives each year. Yeah, smoking sucks. We probably really shouldn't smoke. After this brief, you're going to be like, man, he just jumped all in my business. Smoking on the average cost the United States about $193 million in 2004, including $97 billion in loss of care expenditures and over $4,260 per adult. That's per adult. Every year you're going to spend at least $4,260. So what could you do with that $4,260? The majority of today's daily smokers begin smoking at way before they were 18. Some people may start smoking at 10 to 14, and then after they were able to smoke at 21 or 18, they probably just increased their smoking. But youth smoking can be prevented with the combined efforts of family and schools, communication, and policymakers, meaning you have to let your children know, what you see mommy and daddy do is not good. Don't do what you see mommy and daddy do because smoking is not good for you. One step to set a positive example for the children is by not smoking in front of them and keeping your home smoke free. If you don't have to smoke in front of your children, don't do so. Go outside, but you don't have to have it because you don't have to hide it because you want them to know, okay, mommy and daddy's smoking and it's not good. Don't do it. Okay, I've noticed if you hide stuff from children, then 9 times out of 10 they're going to be more tempted to go try it. Oh, mommy said I can't do this. Let's go do that. Almost 70% of the adult smokers begin smoking before they even turn 18. Most smokers try their first cigarette around the age of 11. I said between 10 to 14 earlier. So just, figure the facts. A parent or guardian should also include talking with their children about the daily events and the company that they keep. A lot of children, the company that they keep, they may have some friends that may try to sneak and smoke, but they need to know that, okay, that's not good. I'm not old enough to do that. Whenever I get old enough to make my own decisions, then I can, choose how I want to do my health anyway. So showing interest in your kids' daily environments will definitely help you out. Look for changes in your child's behavior and attitude. They'll let you know, okay, well, they may come in and be kind of hesitant and be like, hey, what are you doing? And then when you get closer to them, you can smell it, and they'll probably tell you. 9 times out of 10, by the time you get between 3 to 4 feet of them, you can smell that cigarette. Just make sure your child understands that smoking is definitely bad for them. Now that we've learned about, talking with your kids, let's look at what we can do to inform them. Another step to inform the kids is the consequences of smoking. I mean, obviously, I use my dad for a perfect example. I'm 31, and I probably shouldn't be smoking, being a quadriplegic. But my dad definitely is a perfect example of a person who shouldn't smoke. He's a great guy, but I'll tell you what. The guy should not smoke, but he smokes. He's looking at me like, I'm going to choke you after this brief. Wait till this brief is over. I'm going to get you. If your child's introduced to smoking, ensure that they know, it's okay, to inform them and tell an adult immediately. I mean, it's okay for them to try it because you don't want to hide it, but you definitely want to reinforce the fact that, okay, you shouldn't be smoking. Now, like I said, I had me and my brother. If they told us not to do it, guess what? We probably tried it. Anything from smoking to firecrackers in the house, pellet guns. My parents didn't know about all that, but hey, I'm 31 now. I can let it out. When I told my mother of smoking, she was a little bit mad, but she informed me about the consequences of smoking, like I said earlier. She let me know that smoking is something that I should not be doing, whether, if I'm 18 or not, because of the health issues. Tell your child to walk away from it, just like drugs. Just say no. Show the smokers that the behavior is not cool or not funny. If you promote smoking in a positive way, then they'll most likely be like, okay, my dad did it or my mom did it. No, let them know, this is a bad habit that mom or your daddy picked up, and you don't want to do this. this is one thing that I did, although my peers simply stated, then don't do it. I just went ahead and I told my mom, and she said, my peers kind of made fun of me, but at the same time, that's normal. Just tell your kid it's normal, but make the right decision. According to the article on WebMD statistics, it shows that 90% of adult smokers started smoking when they were children. I can't stress that enough. If you notice, I repeated myself around 10 to 14, and the age of a children is whenever they smoke. Okay, so you got to get control and talk to your children whenever they're younger. If you're smoking and they see you, let them know. And yeah, my son, he'll see me and say, Dad, you smoking? I'm like, yeah, but it's not good. Dad needs to quit, and you don't need to start. Now that you know what consequences, let's look at measures needed to enforce it in the daily activities. Pretty much is make sure you stop smoking and around your kids, and try to enforce it daily. If your kid or your child is smoking, make sure that adult aides, the aides that you have, the school, the administration, let them know so they can look out for that whenever your kid's not around you. That way they're not surprised like, oh, little Todd is smoking. And I've already informed them, so whenever they say, hey, we caught Todd smoking, I know how to take an extra level of consequences to enforce that smoking is definitely a bad habit to my kid. Anybody in the neighborhood should know that your kid tried smoking. That way they can watch their kids. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tell it. But if I tell you that Todd is smoking and he's playing with your kid, then you're going to, look, okay, you know what? Todd's tried it. Let me try to see where he's getting it from, or let me see if my kid's doing it. So it's not a problem till, I can tell Marianne Todd got caught smoking. Make sure you watch killing him when he gets old enough. It's just giving a heads up. Parents need to be aware of what's going on in their neighborhood, whether their kids are with them or not. Teachers are with the students at least 6 to 8 hours a day, so they need to be aware of what's going on with the kid. So now that I've told you about the consequences of smoking and how you should watch your kids with smoking, let me leave you with the final thoughts. Parents must make sure that the kids understand the dangers of smoking. Smoking can cause the worst case scenario: cancer, heart disease, lung disease. I don't know where that would come from if you would smoke. Well, who would get that if you would smoke? Obviously you. So let them know. Short-term effects, it include coughing and throat irritation. Over the time, it can increase your heart rate, your blood pressure, as well as bronchitis. Although my wife has bronchitis and she doesn't smoke. She got it from the pollen. And unfortunately, it can cause asthma at the same time. If you notice any signs of your child smoking, don't overreact. Just let your kid know about it, and let them know it's bad. Just reinforce it, it's bad. Some of the signs, like I said, smelling smoke on their clothes, for example, may mean that your child has been around somebody that's smoking, or they may have tried it. Just be aware of what's going on. Remember that many kids try cigarettes at one time or another, but necessarily go on to become regular smokers. So just try to enforce and prevent and educate. And that concludes my brief. Thank you for attending.
Twisted Tea. Check it out.
Be quiet, man. She ain't paused yet.